Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to today's explainer. Look, if you've ever spent literally hours tweaking audio keyframes, just desperately trying to make a voiceover not sound like a broken 1990s GPS, well, you know exactly how painful bad audio can be. It's the worst. But the landscape has shifted massively. Today, we're unpacking an absolutely crucial resource for digital producers, the definitive 2026 guide to AI voice synthesis, completely tailored for YouTube. We're going to look at the exact tools that are reshaping how we tell stories right now. Why? Because the technology has finally hit that crazy point where the difference between a synthetic voice and a real, breathing human one is, well, it's practically imperceptible. Let's drop into a slightly more analytical gear for a second and look at the central question of our guide here. What is the absolute best AI voice for YouTube in 2026? Honestly, this is a massively high-stakes calculation for anyone hitting that publish button. Just picture this, right? A viewer clicks on your content, they are totally hooked by the intro. But then, 10 seconds in, the narrator takes this weird, metallic, totally simulated breath right in the middle of a sentence. Boom. They click off. They are gone. In 2026, audience expectations for audio quality leave zero room for error. A disjointed voiceover actively drives viewers away and just absolutely tanks your attention metrics. Choosing the right synthetic audio isn't just about saving time anymore. Actually, scratch that. It's way more than that. It's a foundational, make-or-break technical decision for your entire channel's brand.
And that brings us to the specific, extremely demanding medium we're targeting here. YouTube is still the undisputed king of long-form, highly engaging audio-visual content. And synthesizing a voice for a 10 or 20-minute deep dive, that requires completely different capabilities than just spinning out a quick 5-second clip for social media. We're talking about heavy, modern technical benchmarks, things like dynamic emotional inflection, context-aware pacing, and ultra-low latency generation. The AI literally needs to understand when to speed up during a really exciting technical breakdown and when it just needs to pause for emphasis. If the voice synthesis engine can map human emotion effectively, the viewer stays completely immersed. But if the pacing is flat, the spell is broken immediately.
And this brilliantly illustrates the core dynamic of today's explainer. The source material frames the entire 2026 landscape around one massive heavyweight industry rivalry, ElevenLabs versus the alternatives. Now, there is a very good reason ElevenLabs is the benchmark here. Over the last few years, they essentially wrote the entire playbook for high-fidelity voice cloning. They went out and proved that AI could actually capture the subtle, tiny micro-expressions of a human speaker. They established the perceived gold standard for quality. By setting up this specific conflict, the guide is straight up acknowledging that there's a heavy reigning champion in the room, and the entire rest of the industry is fiercely competing to knock them right off that pedestal.
Now, what's really fascinating about this matchup is how it frames this classic David versus Goliath scenario. You've got the established titan up against an entire collective field of challengers. But the alternatives aren't just cheap copycats anymore. They are bringing some serious weapons to the fight. While the reigning champion might boast that premium emotional fidelity, these emerging challengers are attacking from totally different angles. Some are offering hyper-specialized workflows specifically for bulk creators. Others are rolling out really aggressive pricing models, or these incredible API integrations that let you automate your entire production pipeline completely seamlessly. So it's really this intense battle between a one-size-fits-all premium solution and a highly adaptable army of specialized tools.
So, the absolutely crucial point here is defining what actually earns that supreme title. What does best actually mean for a creator working in 2026? Well, our source material absolutely doesn't settle for most affordable or easiest to use. No way. It's looking at strict, absolute, top-tier criteria. We're talking about flawless, zero-shot voice cloning capabilities. We're looking at localized multi-language pacing, meaning can the AI translate your English script into flawless Spanish while maintaining your exact, unique vocal cadence? It's about complex stuff, like natural breath insertion algorithms, and maintaining absolute emotional consistency over a massive word count. When you're producing highly competitive content right now, you need an engine that hits every single one of those technical benchmarks flawlessly.
Which brings us to the ultimate question you really have to ponder for your own daily production workflow. Will you align with the established emotional fidelity and the premium benchmark of the industry titan? Or will you leverage the cost-effective, specialized workflows and aggressive API integrations of the alternatives to build a totally uniquely recognizable voice for your channel? The tech has completely matured, the battle lines in AI audio are clearly drawn, and honestly, the trade-off between a premium generalist and an agile specialist is entirely yours to navigate. So, looking at your content strategy,